Hello! So, I have one topic that I do want to talk about that I'm prepared to talk about because there's a lot of things I'd like to talk about that I just really shouldn't right now because I don't have my stuff together. And that thing would be craft names or names in general. This is a topic that comes up a lot, obviously. People always talk about this, but I sort of wanted to give my take on it and, in particular, explain my username because I'm kind of embarrassed by it. I'll be totally honest. However, I've had this account for so long that I really could not justify letting it go and creating something different, and it's just too much me to really do that. So, as far as pagan names go, I've always felt like I've never really found one, and it drove me nuts. I've gone through several over the last 10, 12 years, and they always fit for a certain period of time. When I very first started, and this is like a long time ago now, when I very first started, I called myself Starheart, which is something that I guess just comes out of a little kid's head. Like, it makes sense to me. When I was that age, my friend and I, who was also into paganism, but not really, we had moons and stars that we signed our names with. That was what we did. So I had Star as me, so I was like, well, there's part one. And Heart just seemed to fit easily because to me, it's what's in here that's important. I feel like this is a big part of, and this is always still to this day, been a big part of how I sort of define myself, is my heart, my beliefs, my passion, just my emotions, everything that has to do with my essence, which I kind of just lump into the term heart. And then I thought that that was childish. So I changed it to I think I got this idea, from a Silver Ravenwolf book. I'm not positive on that because, again, it's been a very long time. But it said something like suggesting, why don't you take some god and goddesses names, or it was like trying to help you come up with a craft name. And I was like, that's perfect. So I started calling myself Athena Artemis, which was, I still really like, especially Athena, like, I really, really like Athena, but that just seemed to not really fit super well either. Like, I don't think you should name yourself after your patron deities, which is kind of what I was doing at the time. So, and I'm not saying you can't do that. Like, if you did that, that's fine. I just felt weird about it, so I changed it. And I know there's been other stuff too that I've kind of cycled through or toyed with between now and then, but that did not stick as well. Except I had this whole concept that I really, really liked, light, shadow, heart, like that kind of concept. I'm all about balance, and I think you have to have both to have either one. So I wanted to come up with a name that was going to incorporate all of these things. And I did this by looking up names on, I think it's babynamesworld.com, or it may not even exist anymore, but I was really, really into writing, and I used to like come up with like roleplay characters for all kinds of stuff, and just, that's what I did. So I would use this, though, I would find names because I would put in a meaning, and it would give me names that had that in the meaning. So I found one that was Light, which was, I believe, Hikari, and like Darkness or Shadow, which was Ohanzi, and then the only one I could find for Heart, I think at the time, was like Yura, like U-R-A. So that was like my secret name. But to sort of explain it easier, I called myself Kyrie, Shadow, and Heart. And that has been my screen name for years. And I mean years, like since probably middle school or something, like a really, really long time. And obviously you can tell I still use it because that's my account name on here. I still think it's kind of like dorky now when I think about it, like Kyrie, Shadow, and Heart sounds very very high school, shall I say. So I'm not super thrilled about it. I still go by the name Kyrie very frequently, and I've done that since before I came up with this name. Like, I tried to incorporate that because I got called that a lot. But regardless, I don't really consider that my craft name either. I just consider that my sort of nickname and internet persona. So a lot of people on YouTube I see who have like a channel name use their craft name. I'm not one of those people, so just let you know. I have another name that I use now that I'm not going to tell you because it's personal. I'm telling you the ones that I don't use anymore because they don't matter to me anymore. But I do have one now that I do use now that I think is much more fitting currently, but I still feel like I'm probably not going to use it forever. I don't know if I can find anything that I will use forever. People change. Like, I think it's kind of hard to pin down something and name yourself anything really when you know that you're growing all the time. It may not suit you 5 years from now or 10 years from now or a month from now. So I don't really think there's anything wrong with changing once in a while. But I thought about all of this because I recently acquired this book. And it's actually, I will read in case you can't see that. It's called Llewellyn's Complete Book of Names for Pagans, Witches, Wiccans, Druids, Heathens, Mages, Shamans, and Independent Thinkers of all sorts who are curious about names from every place and every time. This is a giant book. It's a $30 book, but it was worth buying. And I really like this because it really does. It's got all kinds of very strange, interesting, old, new, just names. And it tells you what they mean or where they come from. Sometimes it can't really give you a meaning, but it will tell you like its origin and stuff. So I think this is really fun, again, because I like writing and I like coming up with character names and stuff like that. So, but this would also probably be a very helpful book for coming up with a craft name for yourself. One that doesn't sound like it. I know some people out there really don't like the names that are like the whole Starheart thing, where like they sound Native American almost, and some people don't like. It's almost like you're stealing their idea or something. So I guess if you didn't like that, this would be a cool one because these are, you can find the same meanings maybe in this, but come up with a more generic type name so that it doesn't sound the same way, if that makes any sense. And I have another book. I think it's called The Complete Book of Magical Names or something like that. I don't remember who the author is. And I had that years ago, and I read through that too. And that's actually the book that I kind of used to help me generate my most recent craft name, which it was very helpful actually. So I am a big believer in acquiring books that have to do with names. And this one, I think it's funny because I think the purpose of this is sort of to help you name children, probably. Like, that was most likely, I think, the intent of whoever published it, perhaps. Because, and it cracked me up when I went to buy this, I was actually with my fiance, and he knows that I love stuff like this, so we went up to the counter, and one of the guys working up there was like, "Oh, are you guys having a baby?" I just looked up, I was like, "No." He's like, it gets that panic look on your face, like, "Oh my god, I just said something terrible." And I laughed because I totally get why, because this is the kind of book you buy when you are having a kid, so I think that's funny. I don't know why, I just thought that was hilarious. I've never had anyone accuse me of that before, it's probably why I thought it was really funny, so anyway. That's my story for the day. So I would be extremely interested to know other people's feelings about this same topic. I frequently look for other people's videos having to do with craft names or names in general, why you choose them, why you get rid of them, those kinds of things. So thoughts, comments, concerns, perhaps, always welcome. So I guess I will talk to you guys some other time. Bye.